Well, we'll see.
World.
So how many of you have heard of SeaWorld? If you haven't already visited one of their parks, it seems like it would be a great place to take the family to watch dolphins spin in the air or see the famous killer whale shows. What most people aren't aware of, though, is what is actually happening to the animals after hours. Marine animal theme parks like SeaWorld should be shut down due to the abuse of wild animals held in captivity. To let you see from my point of view, I'll give you a little information about SeaWorld and how animals are actually being treated there, and give you a second thought about supporting these parks. So SeaWorld is a marine animal theme park started by 4 UCLA graduates. It opened in 1973 and currently has 3 200-acre locations in the United States. Let me get rid of this. So these locations are in Orlando, Florida, San Antonio, Texas, and San Diego, California. You might have heard of a whale named Shamu, a 3-year-old killer whale torn from its family and captured in 1965. And she was sold to San Diego SeaWorld. San Diego SeaWorld. She was the first whale to be forced to learn tricks by depriving her from food. Shamu became famous for being the first performer at the park, but shortly died only at the age of 9 from an uterine infection. So SeaWorld's orca tanks are inadequate habitats for killer whales. Fully grown killer whales are able to grow up to 23 feet long, but forced to stay in only 350-foot-long tanks. Wild orcas can travel up to 100 miles or more every day, but the tank only allows the whale to circle in a 0.07-mile wide pen. Most orcas in SeaWorld can be seen with a bent-over dorsal fin, like that one, that is caused by not having enough free space or fed an unnatural diet. SeaWorld claims that this occurrence can happen often in the wild when it rarely does. The small tanks also cause them to be prone to more infections, like this one. And then this is just a picture of how small the tank is compared to the whale. And killer whales in the wild travel up to pods of 40 members and are actually very social animals. Wild orcas who were captured by net were torn away from their pod and live alone. Orcas are so intelligent that they're actually able to get depressed and found to float at the top of their tank for hours, while wild orcas are known to keep moving. Orcas can also get sunburnt from floating on the top of the tank from it not being too deep enough, and trainers will secretly cover the burns with black zinc oxide so audience members won't see it during the show. Most trainers at the park don't even have actual marine biologist skills, but instead are only trained to put on the show. The controversy of orca shows had started only a few years after opening their doors and are still a problem of interest today. Not only do Shamu-style shows put a mental and physical toll on the animal, but there have been accidents with both whales and humans who have been harmed or killed. Throughout SeaWorld's lifetime, there has been 4 trainers who fell victim through a show and 48 orcas that died under SeaWorld's care. In 2016, a film, Blackfish, directed by Gabriella Copperwaith, was a documentary about Tilikum, who was a killer whale living in SeaWorld, and the show was aired to the public of how these animals are actually being treated. So SeaWorld has agreed to end its killer whale captive breeding program due to the Blackfish documentary. But according to Kate Taylor of the Business Insider, 75% of Americans still don't know what is actually going on, and 28% are less likely to go to SeaWorld after watching the documentary. The orca shows have just recently stopped in 2017 only at their San Diego location, but still continue in the Orlando and San Antonio parks. Although SeaWorld stated that they will stop the Shamu-style performance entirely by 2019, they plan to still hold performances showing their natural behavior, whatever that is. So in order to stop the abuse of orcas held in captivity under SeaWorld, PETA needs the public's help. To this day, there are only 22 orcas owned by SeaWorld in the United States, and the company plans to extend internationally. PETA, which stands for People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, is urging SeaWorld to end its use of animals and releasing them into seaside sanctuaries where they can be free from tanks. Even though there aren't any SeaWorld parks here in Hawaii, we can still get involved to help. You can visit their website and sign a pledge online to boycott SeaWorld, or simply spread the word about the film Blackfish to friends. You can even sign up to become a PETA first responder to receive updates and campaigns against organizations abusing animals.